Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. We are calling the meeting to order, and if we could have roll call, please. Here, here, here,
Here. Here.
and if you could all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we need to approve the agenda for the evening. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? Been motioned and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And we have the approval of the minutes from our November 9th board meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Oh, I skipped the public hearing. My apologies. Thank you. We need to do a public hearing. Where's my friend Kevin? There he is. Come on up.
See, am I socially distanced enough to do this?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, thank you. Madam President, members of the board, fellow employees, and honored guests. Tonight, we're going to have a very brief presentation. You should have in front of you the analysis of the two major funds that are affected by the revised budget that we're going to be asking you to adopt tonight. But just very briefly, we revise every December, and this is a two-slide presentation, so it'll go quick. We revise every December based upon, because we always put a budget together based on projections, and we're always current year funded now. So we were very aggressive with our projections when we started off this year. Some of those did not come to fruition. Some of that's got to do with the home builder slowing down a little bit because of the supply chain issues and things like that. So we see a lot of lotteries going on for a lot of the new homes that are coming in. But we still have 3,000 homes that are projected to come up over the next couple of years. So the numbers are still pretty huge. But they all didn't come in this year yet, but we are seeing our numbers come up. We did revise our ADM down to the actual numbers from the state as of November, but to also let you know how quickly this changes, we just redid the budget again on Monday and said, oh, we got our December numbers. Our budget's going to go back up by over $300,000 before the end of the year based upon the revised numbers from the state. So our ADM will continue to climb as it has been since the beginning of the year. And as you remember, we do get funded on the average of our first 100 days average daily membership. And also on this revision, we take, sorry about that, all of our carryover amounts, which are projected, and we bring forward the actuals into this. So what does that look like? Well, our unrestricted capital went up because we underestimated the amount of expenditures we were going to have through the end of the year last year. So it's always nice to carry forward almost $600,000 additional. And we decreased because we were very aggressive with our projections on our enrollment. We did drop our overall maintenance and operation budget. The enrollment numbers down by $2 million. And our carry forward went up, so we netted out about $1.6 million down. But again, we're going to see that drop by another $300,000 to $340,000 just based on December's numbers. So we're tracking. We like to be conservative. We like to track at a lower number, make sure we're managing our resources as tight as we can. And as these additional revenues come in, that gives us more opportunity and flexibility as we roll forward and look to the end of this year and on beyond. And with that, I would stand for questions from the board and then the public.
Thank you for that information. Any questions, comments? Anyone in the public? Okay, thank you, Mr. Haggerty.
Thank you.
Okay, we will go back to the approval of the minutes from the November 9th meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Motion and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And we are on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Berrigan and governing board members. The 7th Annual Levine School District Winter Festival was held last Friday evening and was a huge success. It has truly become one of the largest events each year in the Levine community. The goals of the Winter Festival are to celebrate the holidays as a community, to give our students and community an opportunity to showcase their work. And ultimately, the Winter Festival raises funds for the Levine Education Foundation to provide college scholarships for our students who are promoted from 8th grade in our district. I am excited to announce that we raised over $13,000 this year, a record for the festival. That's worth a round of applause. And that will, as those of you who have gone to winter festivals know, this was our first year holding it in the David Glasser Athletic Complex. It was, as Tim Thomas said, a 75-degree night. Who could help but come? And so we're really glad that we moved it to that venue, and that will be our spot from this point forward, in case you're wondering. It gave more room for our families to shop and play games and eat. And finally, I'd just like to say a huge thanks to our staff who support this incredible event. Paseo Point 8th grader Angel Gonzalez was featured on channels 3 and 5 for his custom rug making business. Angel started creating custom rugs to fund his trip to Washington, D.C. with his school. At last check, he received hundreds of new rug orders. And you can watch the news clips from our Facebook page, or hit it, Butch.
That Levine eighth grader is working to take his own way so he can go on a school field trip.
What started as a way to make a couple of extra bucks turned into a small business for this teenager. David Caltabiano shows us the product he's making by hand that's in pretty high demand.
It's a long and meticulous process for Angel Gonzalez,
Yeah, you gotta look at every little line, make sure there's nothing missing.
but it beats helping out at Dad's barber shop for making some cash. This teenager first learned how to make custom rugs from his father, showing him a TikTok video. The Paseo Point student bought all the tools himself and figured he could make some money for an upcoming school trip to Washington, D.C. His mom, Lily Gastelum, says it will cost more than $2,000.
We told him we'll help him out with as much as we can, but he actually surprised us when he told us that he wanted to work for it.
So Angel got to work, making his first 4 rugs ranging from $35 to $50. His mom thought she'd help out by posting her son's work on a community Facebook page.
We were thinking we'll probably get like 3 to 5 orders, mostly family members and friends. We'll go on from there. No, it blew up.
Lily says she's received hundreds of requests, mostly asking for a custom rug of an NFL or NBA team logo. She knows it might violate licensing agreements.
Please don't sue us. To Washington.
So far, Angel has made $125. He has a long way to go until he works for the May trip to the nation's capital. It's an exhausting process that won't get any easier, any less detail-oriented. But he says it's worth it, not only to get to DC, but to see the finished product someone else will enjoy.
It gets a little tiring, but it feels really good at the end because that way I have a whole carpet.
In Levine, David Caltabiano for Arizona's Family.
If you would please stand and join me. I think Angel is here. Come on up, Angel.
Awesome. It's on the front too. That's great.
Crosswalk Church has once again provided nearly 100 full Thanksgiving meals to Levine families. Families referred to the church received everything they needed to prepare a full Thanksgiving dinner, including a frozen turkey, and pie, canned vegetables, boxed potatoes, and stuffing. Members of the church bagged the groceries and delivered the meals to each family's home. Crosswalk has held the Feed a Family program for many years, and we thank them. Let's give them a round of applause. And another round of applause in just a moment to the employees of Levine's Native, I believe it's now called, just plain Native, not former native New Yorker, who stopped by Cheatham School before Thanksgiving to hand out turkeys to any family who needed one. Thank you, Native. Let's give them. This is an amazing update here. Dr. William Smith from Tennessee State University, a historically black college located in Nashville, visited Betty Fairfax High School to award scholarships to 16 seniors. 11 of those seniors were awarded full scholarships in the amount of $140,000 to attend school for 4 years. All 11 of those seniors are Levine Elementary School District alumni. And we're going to read everyone's names. So here we go. Ashley Tapia from MC Cash. From Vista del Sur, we have Brianna Hurd, Donovan Glass, Karasi Coulter, and Lauren Salas. From Desert Meadows, we have Sade Woods, Alicia Butler. From Rogers Ranch, Caitlin Flourville. From Levine Elementary, Francine Coroma and Jordan De Leon. And from Cheatham Elementary, Melona Medhane. And then 3 other students received partial scholarships for $80,000, and they are Donier Koch from Cheatham, Eric Nelson from Vista del Sur, and Amarion Hamilton from Desert Meadows. And we wish them all the best as they go forward. Three of our principals have hosted special guests as part of the City of Phoenix's Partner with a Principal program. The program pairs local business and community leaders with schools to develop long-standing relationships that will improve the quality of education, workplace readiness, and leadership development programs in the Phoenix area. Estrella Foothills hosted Mike Andrews of Andrews and Associates, who was able to speak with junior high students about the Future City Competition, a project-based learning program where middle school students imagine, research, design, and build cities of the future, while engineering and technical professionals such as Mr. Andrews provide expertise, guidance, and passion. A great program. Now, we have one employee of our 2 employees of the month that is here tonight. The second we'll get them next month. Here we go. This employee serves dozens of schools or students I'm going to start all over. Here we go. Yeah, I think she feels like she's at dozens of schools, but we're going to start this all over. This employee serves dozens of students as our district occupational therapist, a position that focuses on helping students with physical activities such as maximizing their abilities with fine motor skills, handwriting, cutting, eating, and many more skills. She has been a leader in our district for many years, a person sought out for her expertise. She is always willing to lend a listening ear and provide wise advice to our staff. She is also one of our leaders on our Special Olympics team. Please join me in congratulating occupational therapist Dr. Chris Edwards, our Certified Employee of the Month. Dr. Edwards
perfect and spot on. I saw her just the other day. In fact, I saw her on Saturday for a few hours, and I want to tell you about the example of just how she goes above and beyond. Our Special Olympics students will be competing this spring, need to have physical training. Dr. Edwards volunteered her husband, Dr. Edwards, to provide free physical exams for Levine students. And so on Saturday, I went over to their medical office where they spent many hours working with our students. That's just the most recent example of her going above and beyond. So Chris, thank you for everything you do.
And back there in the corner, if you're a member of Dr. Edwards' family or here to support her, you came out of retirement to be here tonight, would you please stand and let's recognize those that support her and care for her. And so, thank you. Family. Thank you. Next, we have our classroom spotlight. We're very excited about this. Coming from Estrella Foothills Global Academy, the 6th grade with Ms. Burnap, but we'll turn it over first to Principal Sarah Zimbrewski.
Thank you. President Berrigan, governing board members, Dr. Sprout, and all of our amazing guests. Thank you for this opportunity to share some of the amazing learning that our students are taking place at Estrella Foothills. So as you know, in this world, we are trying to provide as many opportunities for our students, for those just critical thinking opportunities where the students really are thinking critically about the world around them and how do they fit in and how does everything work together. So we are fortunate here in Levine that we have an amazing science curriculum, Discovery Education, that really lends itself wonderfully to this type of learning. So within Discovery Education, there's basically two types of inquiry. You've got your directed inquiry. This is where the teachers are really providing the critical thinking questions for the students. They're providing the resources and really just helping students know, okay, what is the desired outcome that I'm wanting from these questions and this opportunity. Then you've got the guided inquiry. And this is where the students really are set loose to determine what resources do they need to help them with their research. And then the teacher is just the facilitator, not just the facilitator, but they're the facilitator, really helping guide the students and just kind of mold their thinking a little bit. So I'm going to turn things over to one of our only 6th grade math and science teacher, Ms. Burnap, who's going to tell you a little bit more about how these students use this in the 6th grade science classroom. Ms. Burnap.
All right. Well, I'm so excited to be here to talk a little bit about discovery education with you and inquiry-based learning. Our 6th grade students and all students at EFGA are encouraged to ask questions, not only when they're reading, but when they're doing those math problems, whatever it might be. How does this connect to the real world? How is this going to be relevant for me? And so they ask those inquiring questions. We like to keep them open-ended. We like them to have the opportunity to dig for those answers rather than providing that information for them, giving them that opportunity. And I think if you have an opportunity to visit with some of them today, they probably will tell you some of the things that they have found in some of their digging. They're like, is that real? Is that true? So they do a great job at asking questions in class, but specifically in science. And then that lends well to working together collaboratively on projects or activities, but it gives them a chance to be their authentic self in how they interpret the information and how they're putting together their understanding through different activities. And so I threw together a couple of things that they've done recently. The first one on the far left, we tested out based on friction, where they got to do a little experiment with a smooth surface, some carpet, and some sandpaper. And some of the kids actually, I think it might have been Chris, was like, Ms. Burnap, did we just disprove the idea? Because for some reason it went faster on the sandpaper and it shouldn't have. And I said, nah, I think we're not, being first-time experimenters. I said, I don't think so, but we'll see what happens. So it leads, though, to a lot of other interesting things. And my favorite thing we've done at this point was letting them explore creating a bobsled run. And so if you look at some of those pictures, I gave them materials, they got to design it. And so they had to figure out, how am I going to make this go faster? What do we need to do to make it work? And so the kids got to work collaboratively, got to ask those inquiring questions. And it was just amazing. And at the same time, I found delight in the frustration of just not being able to get that answer really quick. So those were just some really cool things that they got to do. So today, I happen to have 6 of my amazing 6th graders here with you. And they're going to talk a little bit about our current Discovery Ed lesson, which is Warming Earth. I don't want to spell too much out because I think they have a lot to share. So I would like to invite up Sachiko and Elena and Chris, Grayson, Anaya, and Mason is not with us tonight, and Sedona. And they are going to share a little bit about what we've recently been doing in Warming Earth.
Hey there.
Hello, my name is Elena and I'm a 6th grader at Australia Point. Hi, my name is Chris and I'm a 6th grader. At EFJ, we learn how to be a good inquirer. A good inquirer is asking questions about
Okay, I'm Jill. Nice to
in science.
This is my friend Michelle.
Discovery using your own research. And here are some questions I came up with. Number 1. How does seasons happen? How does the earth rotate? And now I found how the seasons happen in these 2 paragraphs. And then pretty much
What would happen if it didn't have an axle? What do you think?
We have to look at it, and she gives us materials to give us help. Because if we don't quite know the answer, she'll.
Did you know the answer? How does the earth, how do we get seasons?
So the earth has a tilt.
Great.
And it snows. The earth has a tilt
you like
pretty much,
science?
and the sun has
Yeah.
contact there. And for the how does the earth
What else are you
rotate?
learning in that
I'm
science?
still working on it, but well, part of it is because of the sun and the moon, because the gravitational pull is from the earth. So it
Awesome.
Do you have any hypotheses on how it works?
What other questions did you come up with? What was the second question?
probably spins by gravitational pull.
Very good.
Goes around.
Did you enjoy the lesson? How do you think you did?
Why is it,
Okay,
Pino?
so you're kind of into science?
Experiment in
What do you think it could be?
Very
Probably
good.
by
Thank you for sharing that with me. Very nice
how
to
does
meet
the
you.
earth move and trying to do videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying
Yeah.
learning this?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What did you learn anything? What was the most surprising thing you learned?
How does seasons happen?
And why were you surprised?
Because I never knew that the earth tilted, and I never knew like the sun comes into play.
Interesting, that's true. We didn't talk about it.
A lot of people will lose business.
Do you think you want to be a scientist?
You said coats, you don't need coats.
What's your first
Cold,
choice?
right?
For future jobs. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Second, what's your backup? Plan. Good job, guys.
Probably
Good job, guys.
Good job.
you might still be wondering.
So you like outdoorsy
What the
stuff?
answer was to my first question.
Hi, how are you?
The answer is Earth is closest to the sun during the season of winter. Thank you.
So I just want to take a moment to say thank you so much, boys and girls, for coming to this amazing opportunity. It's been a pleasure to be a part of this evening with all of you, and hopefully you can get a little snapshot then of what Discovery Ed has to offer our students and that inquiring minds do want to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burnap. Would you please join me in standing, and students, recognize our students. Let's give them a round of applause. And students, come on up here. Parents, come on up. It's great to have an opportunity to showcase our schools and the wonderful work that is happening at each one of our schools. And EFGA is an incredible school, and you got a taste of that tonight. And so thank you once again to our leadership team, to Ms. Burnap for representing our teachers and students. You represented your entire student body tonight, and you did a great job. So thank you so much. Finally, happy holidays to all of you. Governing Board, thank you for the gift of your leadership and support for the students, staff, and community. And to our entire community, and on behalf of the Levine staff, I wish you a wonderful, safe winter break. And to our staff, enjoy your 2 weeks of break, and thank you for your incredible service during the first half of the school year. So happy holidays to all of you. And with that, I will turn it back over to you,
Okay.
President Berrigan.
Thank you, Dr. Sprout. Thank you, kids, again, for coming tonight, sharing that information, and parents for bringing them here and allowing us to learn from your kids. That was fantastic. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. You're welcome to stay for the business portion of the meeting if you'd like, but if you don't want to, you feel free to exit now, and we'll resume the meeting in a few minutes. Thank you. Okay, we will resume the meeting. We now have a presentation on our technology department from Ms. Jamie Camacho. Please come on up. You got a lot to live up to after the special education department presentation,
No.
but I've heard you're going to live up to it, so.
Well, I told Todd, I said that was really hard. But congratulations to him because he does do a phenomenal work, and that really is true. So President Berrigan, members of the board, Dr. Sprout, and guests, thank you for the opportunity this evening just to share a little bit about what we do in the technology department. I've had the pleasure of working on some pretty amazing teams in my career. but none of them live up to this technology team. And so just the innovation, the creativity, the genuineness, and they're just good people. And so I want to start by honoring Mr. Eddie Lopez. He oversees the operational side of our technology team. One of the smartest people I've ever met. And I like to think that I like to hang around with some pretty smart people, but he definitely is at the top. And then his sidekick over here, Butch Neal, he oversees our networking, and we'll get into that in the presentation. But I have to say, so explain that again. Sometimes when we get into the technical pieces, and I don't see him in the audience right now, but I don't want to miss Mr. Richard Pino. He handles the technology integration piece, and you'll see a lot of his work being highlighted. I know he locked himself. He locked himself in the closet. Really making me look bad. It's put people in closets and the corner over there, and it's just I promise it's a welcoming work environment. But you might be asking yourself, how does the director of instructional leadership work in the technology department? And so hopefully at the end of this presentation, you'll kind of see how it all flows together, because it is a little bit untraditional than what you see in a lot of tech teams across different districts. The first thing is that we know our purpose. Whether you're working on the operational side or the integration side, we know that we're here for kids. We are here for our students and for the teaching and learning that happens in our classrooms. So we are here to support our kids, our teachers, our support staff, our administrators, our parents, our community. If they're connected to our kids somehow, we're connected to them. And that starts in the hiring process. So oftentimes, kind of feels, the first time I ever did interviews for tech, I felt like I was on the American Idol, the very first episode. And so I really had to think about that. And Eddie and I came to a conclusion that we can teach people tech skills. But customer service and knowing who we serve and why we serve them is really important. So oftentimes we'll have a candidate, and if they're a runner-up candidate, I'm always going to choose the person who has that customer service, who wants to serve our students in our community, and I'll put a little bit more time into them to get them to the tech pieces, because who we are and how we serve our community is really important to our team. And I think that shows across the board. But it all starts with our network and our devices and our security. None of this operation that we're working through tonight would happen without those basic pieces. So some of you might know that here in Levine, we have our internet actually feeds through the district office, but not to our schools directly. We have something called dark fiber. Actually, it's lit fiber now. And you'll see the mastermind behind the scenes here, making it all happen. So we're really kind of like our own small utility company, where the internet comes here and we feed it out to each one of our campuses and make sure that that's working and running. Once again, smartest guy I know. We have been able to maintain our one-to-one devices thanks to our community. Our K-1 students do have the touch screen, but we're in the process of refreshing our smart boards right now with Promethean boards. So you'll see an example of the Promethean board right here. That's why we have it here tonight. So you can see the difference between that projector coming down the screen on one board and the Promethean on the other board. So this refresh is going to allow us to eliminate those projectors at the top of the bulbs and really have an opportunity for our students and our teachers to have that smart touch. So it's basically like putting a touch computer on the wall of our classrooms for our teachers and students to interact with. So we're really excited about that. Currently, they're already in Estrella Foothills. We did build that, the school with that in mind, and now we're going back and backfitting the rest of our school. So we're really excited about that. In addition, we got the FCC grant, and that FCC grant allowed us to use $400 towards instructional technology. So our teachers are able, and we're in the process of doing this right now, we're actually refreshing all of our teacher laptops, and we were able to put $400 towards their laptop from this grant. And you might be asking, well, what are you doing with the technology they already had? They were using technology last year and it worked just fine. So we do have some technology that's old, so that will be retired. The technology that's still under warranty, we're able to repurpose that. So we'll be re-imaging those computers and giving them to our support staff, which came right in time because we were in the need for a refresh for our support staff. So it's actually saving us quite a bit of money and a great opportunity for us. In addition, that FCC grant paid 100% for us to have Chromebooks that we can send home with our kids. So coming soon, it's not out there yet, but we're looking at targeting about 2 grade levels per campus. We have about 3,000 Chromebooks that was purchased with this money, and our students will have their device in their classroom. But in addition to that, we're looking at about 2 grade levels per school where they can actually check it out and take it home with them and have access to learning at home as well. So we're really excited about that upcoming opportunity for our staff and students to be able to take learning throughout. But with those devices comes a lot of responsibility. We are responsible to make sure that our kids are safe online and have that security in place. So those Chromebooks, when they take them home, any device that our students use has iBoss on it and our filtering system. So if you're using or connecting to our Wi-Fi, it has iBoss. What is iBoss? It's really looking at the internet. So anything that's coming in or out, we can block sites. So when you're on a device, certain sites are not going to come up if you're using our district network or devices. Cloud Lock is a little bit more finite, and it's really looking at what are kids doing when they're in a Google Doc or in an email, and it actually filters that for different pieces of information, makes sure our kids are being safe. We're also proactive, and we have digital citizenship. So these are lessons that some of them we've gotten and others that we've created. And here's just a brief example of how we help our kids be responsible with their technology.
That they have the ability to flag documents that contain inappropriate language or harmful content. So if a student writes something inappropriate in a document, the tech team is notified. The student will then see this. The document in question is now locked, and ownership of the document is then transferred from the student to the tech team. That's not the end of it. The teacher is then notified.
Transparent with our kids that nothing is private and that things are being seen. It's really important that we let our kids know that from the very beginning. Tools are great, and we're very, very grateful to our community and to our board for helping us keep that funded. But really, it's what we do with those tools that change the outcome for our kids. And that starts with support and professional development. We've been very blessed. Each one of our campuses, as well as the district office, has a full-time tech. They work to maintain our help desk ticket. So if a teacher needs help, they can put in a help desk ticket, but we've expanded that. We now have a parent help desk ticket that is still running, and it's available for our parents if they need support. And at the Levine Online Academy, we even have a student help desk ticket. So if our students are online and at home still, they have a way to reach out and get tech support in real time. In addition to that, we have a club that the technology department works with kids. It's called Chrome Depot, and we've really targeted that to our 5th graders. So our 5th graders can be a part of our club. They get into a Google Classroom and they do different modules to learn how to do tech support. So they do some troubleshooting. They earn badges along the way, so they can help out their teacher when some other student needs help. They can help go in and do some tech support and maybe see if they want a future job in IT too. At the end of the year, we usually do a field trip with them as well and do an activity. In addition to that, you can see in these pictures, the tech team comes here to the district office once a month. We do professional development and training, give them opportunity to collaborate and do some critical thinking. Here we are trying to ignite excellence by building rockets, but none of them work. So we're better at tech than we are at rocket building, sorry. Professional development, we have the traditional model, before school starts, after school, half-day PDs embedded where we're doing things like Google Classrooms and Google certification. But one of the things that we learned last year is that we need on-demand PD for our teachers. So when they need help right then and there. Have you ever been doing something with technology or trying to make something work and it doesn't, and you're like, help. So some of the things that we've put into place or had and enhanced. We have an instructional technology website where all of our resources are stored so teachers know where to find it. In that, we have little quick video clips along the way, and they're short and brief. So it's not welcome to it's here's what you do, here's how to do it. So if a teacher's in a jam, they can get in there, find out exactly what they need to do. And then there's also lots of click paths along the way. So if they need to be able to add a new student to a curriculum, how do I do that? They can go in and have those directions. So we're helping people in real time, 24/7. They have access to that. So I have a very quick, 15-second clip of just what one of those how-to videos are.
This is the Gradebook Main tab. Gradebook Main shows you all the assignments that you have, and it's your place to actually create new.
So you can see they're straight to the point, right? So if you've ever been in a situation you need help, like just tell me what I need to do. So that's really what we've moved. We have a balanced approach to technology here in the Levine Elementary School District. The idea that kids are in classrooms with headphones staring at a computer or a Chromebook is not our vision of tech integration. That's fine if they're taking an assessment and that's necessary, that's what they're doing. But really, we want our kids to be creative. We want them to communicate, we want them to be collaborative, and we really want them to be critical thinkers. I think Estrella Foothill's example tonight really expresses what our big picture goal for our students looks like and feels like. And so here's a brief example of that in our classrooms.
Do not have technology enhances our learning experience. We communicate. And we get our answers. We collaborate.
Yep, there you go. You found it.
We create. We are critical thinkers and problem solvers. We are preparing for the jobs of our future.
That's really what we're working towards. And so back to the original question is, how does the director of instructional leadership work inside of the technology department? How does that work? And so here in Levine, the technology department is nestled into academic services. And so I'm continuously collaborating with the assistant superintendent, the director of curriculum, the director of student services, our assessment coordinator, because it all works together. And we really have the vision of that. And not just that it works together in collaboration, but it works together in the classroom. So what we really feel is strong tech integration is when our teachers are teaching the content standards, we have kids engaged, and there's good instructional strategies, and those 21st century skills and technology is being represented. So this little star in the middle, when a teacher can balance all of that, that is the great harmony that we're all looking and seeking in our classrooms right now. And so I really liked this graphic because it's kind of hard to explain my job to people. So this one, pictures are always my friend. And so here you can see in the blue, our kids need technology skills. They need to have those skills, but it's not that alone. They also need to understand their core subjects. They need to be able to read and do math and science. They need to be exposed to the arts. They need to be able to do music and all of those different things. But while they're doing that, they need to collaborate, communicate, have critical thinking, and be creative. And that really is what our workforce is looking for. So future employers are asking for that. And that's what we're trying to work and produce here in Levine for our kids to be whole-rounded. But underneath that, you can see standards and assessment, curriculum and instruction, professional development. And that's where we work together and collaborate. Like, we help with making sure that the devices are ready for assessments, but I also make sure I understand what kids need to know and what does highly proficiency look like to get there. We look at curriculum and instruction. Yes, we help them with the digital components, but we also are masters of our curriculum. We can actually go in and teach somebody how to use the math curriculum or the science curriculum in connection with curriculum and instruction. Professional development. Yes, we do professional development on how to use a computer or how to use an app, but we're also making professional development on how do we make that really be that synergy in the classroom, that whole piece. Just like we're asking our teachers to be integrated, we have an integrated leadership approach to technology as well. So you might have been here before and thought, how did the technology team become new teacher induction or summer school or working with early reading or helping our principals doing principal leadership, trying to figure out how do we get to kids to accelerate rather than constantly looking at just the remediation approaches. How are we going to close these learning gaps? Those are all professional developments and collaborations that we've done in the Academic Services Department. And as the Director of Instructional Leadership, really looking at from the infrastructure up, but looking at it holistically and how can we support our kids. And so really, that's how the instructional piece falls into technology. So I really liked this quote. Technology in the classroom is not the end goal. Enabling learning everywhere is truly our goal. And that's really the heart of the Living Technology team. So with that, do you have any questions?
Any questions? I don't have any questions, but I just want to make a few comments. There's a couple things in this world that truly amaze me. One is art, particularly like visual art. I will never be able to do visual art, and I appreciate it so much. The other one is technology. Okay. My former technology director, when I worked for the Avondale district, had wonderful analogies that he would give me to help me understand what it was exactly that he's talking about. So I appreciate folks like Eddie and Butch and Richard knowing those things. And additionally, I appreciate you not being intimidated by those things, because those are probably not your primary areas of expertise, although I'm sure you learn much
I
now.
have learned a lot.
Right? And just being willing to take that on. And you talk about our students needing these skills moving forward. Our son is 21. He works in the technology field and shows us lots, and we sort of thought he was the expert. Our 12-year-old teaches him things. It comes natural to these kids these days. It's amazing. She's got our thermostat on our phones now. She's got our garage door opener on our phone now. And our 21-year-old who's in technology doesn't even know how to do that. So these kids are incredible. They know so much. And she's a product of the Levine schools. So she's learning lots of this here at our schools. So I really appreciate all of that. That's what I have to say.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't think we have any call to the public. No. Okay. We have the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Second. Any discussion? It's been motioned and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And the revised budget number 1 that Mr. Hegarty presented for us earlier. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. It's been motioned and seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Comments from the board. We'll start with Dr. Centers.
Yeah, thanks for the Levine Festival was great. You guys, your team did an amazing job. It was a great turnout. And as we get ready to go into Christmas break, to be able to, I've been in about 8 of our schools this last week during the different basketball games, and it was fun. And the parents were rowdy. Paseo was very rowdy. I love. Hey, I have 2 kids at Paseo. I was representing, and the kids were just having a blast. And I know we're not known for our athletics program, Dr. Sprout, but at Cheatham, no joke, there was a kid who dunked.
Oh, wow.
And it was very, very impressive. And I think he jumped over my son, so that was pretty good. And even like as we get into this break, even yesterday they had at Estrella their first festival or their first performance, and the band has been together for 2.5 months, and all of these kids of various ages like played their hearts out. And I think they did Mary Had a Little Lamb, and it was flawless. I should have recorded it. So Miss Ambrusi could have that as her ringtone for the rest of the year. But it was just a beautiful sight to see. So wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a good break.
Dr. Watkins?
I just wanted to mention our start of the year when we were at Celebrity, when we talked about inspiring the children. Just keep doing that, keep having that focus on that. This downtime, remember what the season is for, but I think we have an incredible community. Just keep doing what you're doing. Very proud of you guys, and just remember to inspire. I think that's so important to stay on top of what we're here for. It's these kids. I think we're doing an exceptional job. Very proud to be involved.
Excellent reminder. Thank you. Mrs. Ward?
Thank you guys for everything you've done. Take the holiday time to recharge, regroup, relax, and be safe. Have a happy holiday. We'll see you next year.
Mrs. Anderson?
Well, so I guess one thing lately, my watch has been reminding me to be mindful, which I think is a really great thing. So every time it comes up, I think of Levine Schools and just the great things you guys are doing and taking the moment to reflect on just the hard work you guys are putting into. And so just take the next couple of weeks to rest and relax and get ready for the last half of the year.
Yeah, just that last half, that's all. I think we need to get Richard a window. That's my first comment. Yeah, he wants a window. We got to get him a little window. Mr. Jacobson, can you get a window? Okay, thank you. That winter festival is not to be understated. That was incredible. And I know that is a lot of work for you guys. I hope somebody got Mr. Jacobson something stronger to drink than water after that event, because I think he got nearly clipped several times by a few cars at his post. I may have witnessed one or two of those. They were not me. But you know, what could really be a stressful, because that was a lot of people. What could be a stressful situation, you all, your teams made very enjoyable for everybody that was there. And I know that that takes a lot of effort and energy on your part. And so truly, like everybody has said, you have to take these 2 weeks off and just not think about work for a little while. You guys have been going nonstop for way too long now, and you got to encourage your people to just truly rest and relax for those 2 weeks. And that is all I have.
Can I give an update?
Yes,
We
please.
have a sports update,
Oh.
Dr. Center. So here we go. Tonight we had the finals of our fall season in softball. We had Vista Del Sur defeating Levine 9-7. Congratulations to Vista. Nobody. You got like eight principals that are like, we're not going to clap. And then in basketball, Cheatham defeating Levine Elementary,
No.
46-31.
No surprise there. Actually.
All right, you all have a wonderful evening. We need a motion to adjourn to executive session.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night.